Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Radio Free Wall Street. 5 o'clock every day, New York time, live streaming on the World Wide Web. And here we are with Kim Yum Numchucks. What a dude. What a guy. He outsmarted Donald Trump. Donald Trump was actually making room in the White House for where he was going to put his Nobel Plastic Explosive Company Peace Prize. And he had it all set. He thought, well, shit. Forget the Mueller investigation. I am a Nobel Peace Prize winner. The investigation must stop because there's no collusion, no collusion, no collusion. And I've got this Peace Prize to prove it. I have saved the human race from nuclear destruction. I mean, they were set. They were going to have this big meeting. Singapore. I mean, we're not going to do this in some backward little shithole, you know, on the border there next to the Samsung factory. I mean, they're talking Singapore, right? I mean, dignitaries from the world over. TV crews, helicopters, oh my God, it was the biggest event of the year. Donald Trump, the master showman who was producing his biggest show yet. Nobel Peace Prize, saving the world from nuclear destruction, streamed to billions of people live around the world. He said it would be huge, huge, his rating would be huge, the biggest show ever. I mean, it was so big. Donald Trump was getting some Botox treatments. They had to try to do something with his hair. They had to get that done. He's all set. And then all of a sudden, Kim Yum Numchuck says, you know, when you guys are talking about how you want to give me a deal like you gave Gaddafi from Libya, you know, that deal with him, well, he ended up like really beating the shit out of him dead. And it didn't work out so good. So, no, I don't think we want to give up our nukes, but we'll give you this mountain we exploded that's a radiation waste dump that's about to collapse on itself. That'll help. And I'll give you 3 of these guys we beat the shit out of prison. You know, it was a gesture of goodwill. And Donald Trump went, well, how about no nukes? And Kim Numchuck says, nah, I don't think so. When you had your guy traveling around there telling us how, you know, I was going to get the same deal Libya got. He goes, well, we didn't think you saw any American TV, so you wouldn't have known about what really happened. He goes, yeah, well, we know, and no, thank you. So Donald Trump's deflated. So now he's got to go back to the deep state conspiracy. He's got to go back to Spygate. And to top it off today, so that, listen to this guy's a I mean, Donald Trump has his programming for the reality TV shows, President of the United States, planned weeks in advance. So he went to his next one, and that is, he announced right as this news was breaking, the U.S. is going to have import fees, tariffs, on cars coming in from Asia and Europe. Oh, my God. And he's hoping, see, what you do is you get another headline over the bad headline. So if you got a bad headline, you got a good headline, you get your bad headline covered by your good headline. Handy to be all over this tonight and talk about how great Donald Trump is because no one's had the balls to put tariffs on foreign cars. They're foreign, I'm telling you, not American cars. And then Kim Yum Numchucks, well, shit. I mean, the guy's a problem. I mean, everybody knows it. Donald Trump, I mean, what's he going to do now? Well, let's see. Plan B? Donald, what's Plan B? Well, it turns out that there is no Plan B. He's got problems all over the place. Iran has announced that them in Europe, they're sticking with the deal they got on their nuclear thing. And the UN Atomic Watchdog says that Iran is staying within nuclear deals restrictions. Oh, how nice that is. So Donald Trump's having a big day. Even Pelosi, now she's nasty. I mean, have you ever watched her? I mean, that is one nasty gal. She says Kim's the big winner after Trump cancels North Korean summit. Oh, Donald Trump, Donald, please, buddy. So what's happening is, he said, listen to what she said. She said, I think it's a good thing for Kim Jong-un canceling has elevated Kim's status. They were on par with each other. He got global recognition and regard. He is the big winner. When he got this letter from the president saying, okay, never mind, he must be having a giggle fit right there in North Korea. A giggle fit. Is that like a hissy fit? I can't keep track of this. Well, thank you, Nancy, honey, dear darling. She's a hottie. Anyway, the nuclear summit's off. Donald Trump said, no deal. No deal. I mean, we got the art of the deal here going, Donald, buddy, boobala. This is international TV. You got to think of your ratings, buddy. I mean, couldn't you go there and kind of walk out and give us a, you're fired, and just fire Kim Yum Numchuck's ass on the spot? And Kim Young-jung's got a problem, okay? See, he's got a whole bunch of buddies there. And the reason is that, see, you got all them generals and all those military guys there. I mean, they're the apparatus running the torture center, starving the people, so they got money for nukes and, live the luxurious lifestyle. Well, if Kim Young-nunchucks gives up his nukes, well, not only does Kim Young-nunchuck have like a real bad day when they catch up with him, but all his generals do. So they're going, Kim, we ain't going to do this. All right, Kim Young-nunchuck says, no. And the problem is that Donald Trump just doesn't quite get it, okay? And he was actually talking about the Nobel Peace Prize. That's a prize that a plastic explosive company making munitions for war gives for people who make peace, like Yasser Arafat. And Yasser Arafat, by the way, was a very good company products user because you know why he got the Peace Prize? He invented the Nobel Peace Prize bomb belt. So he used those Nobel plastic explosives, and that was a huge market they never realized, and it brings peace because after that person gets that bomb belt blown off, they live in peace with all those virgins. So Donald Trump, I don't know if he's getting any virgins here. Stormy? Well, by the way, I understood that the thing was that Stormy was going to present the prize. Can you see Donald Trump there getting his Nobel Plastic Explosive Prize and Stormy coming out giving it to him? Hey, babe, remember me? Want to have a good time? So anyway, Donald Trump's got himself a great big shit on his hands. Yeah, he had a whole big deal set up. He had himself the Peace Prize. Mueller could not stand in the way. Mueller, get that dossier and stick it up your know-what, because I am the man that stopped World War III. Now, wait a minute, think about that. I mean, Donald Trump says that Kim Young-nunchucks was going to start World War III, right? And mankind would have been annihilated, right? Annihilated, I tell you. No more human beings on the earth, okay? So what happened? Donald Trump, part of the deal. He has a mind-melding thing. If you look into his eyes, he can hypnotize his opponents, and they give in. See, the problem was that Donald never got the face-to-face meeting where he could put the mind meld on Kim Young-nunchuck. Woo, 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 yes, Master. Woo, 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 woo. Yes, Master Trump. Woo, 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 woo. Yes, I'll give up my nukes. See, that didn't happen. So now the problem is that Donald Trump's got to back away, okay? Now, it's a little tricky here because he's got to plan the next episode of the reality TV show known as The Greatest President Peacemaker Ever. So, and these episodes are difficult to produce. You have problems with the fake news not wanting to run the correct episode. And, he's got a problem with the wife. I don't want to say anything, but, she's not only sleeping in a different bedroom, but on a different floor there. And that's kind of embarrassing. But that's because then he has a lot more time to watch CNN News, which I understand he watches around the clock. See, we have the first TV president. I mean, obviously, we elected a TV star, right? There's only two guys I remember. Ronald Reagan had one of those walk of, that Chinese theater over there, that star thing. Donald Trump's got one of them too, okay? So, we've got the second star president. Now, he doesn't want to be a co-star. So Donald Trump is like the guy. And he did a thing where he rolled back the protections, some of the protections to stop us from the banking wipeout, because he wanted to help your neighborhood bank. Did you know that any bank of $250 billion now has no restrictions on them, can party? $250 billion. That's quite a neighborhood bank. $250 billion in capital? Mm-hmm. Yep, that's my credit union there, buddy. Yep, the Steamsters here. So he's had quite a day. He rolled back that, and in other words, the banks now have a license to steal, no capital requirements, rolled back the regulation. Billions of dollars in money paid to those lobbies really paid off. And, of course, they all had to stay at the Trump Hotel down there by the White House, otherwise you don't get an audience. Now, well, it's kind of been a bad day for old-timers today. You got Kim Young-nunchucks that told him no. Morgan Freeman, he did pinching and stuff too, they say, like Donald Trump did, but he didn't get away with it. And then there's another old-timer that got in trouble today, and that's Weinstein. He's supposed to surrender into custody on Friday. So he's going to start his next reality TV show over there in the Tombs. I'll bet you he'd be a hot date, you know. So now you got Donald. I mean, things are kind of like, you know what we're going to have to do? We're going to have a blackout on news that's not suitable. I mean, there's too much going on here. So Donald Trump signed the banking regulation, and that wasn't enough. He was trying to get out of the, trying to get that news about, like, Donald blew it with Kim Yum Nunchucks. No peace on earth of men of goodwill. No. No noble plastic explosive peace prize. No. No saving mankind. I mean, that's a big deal, okay? Look, Mulder, pay attention. This would have been the guy that saved mankind from nuclear holocaust. You can't indict him. You can't say nasty things like that. This is like a savior of mankind. Oh, my God. And then Kim Yum Nunchucks withdraws? Donald Trump, I understand, gave one of those invitations, those fancy ones they use in those real estate things with fine cotton cloth, gold embossing with the actual seal of the President of the United States on there. Now, he's also got that collector pen. Donald Trump has a collector pens to give away. So Kim Yum Nunchuck obviously is not appreciative, okay? And maybe it's because, where he lives up there, he doesn't understand what a Donald Trump presidential pen will sell for on eBay, I mean, we're talking serious money here. So now that thing all blew up, and now what's the Don to do? So we were wondering, I mean, how does Donald Trump pull the fat out of the fire? Well, he can go a redo. They can go there again and say, that part about we're going to give you the same deal as Libya? That was just the deep state conspiracy again. We didn't mean that. That's not what's going to happen. Donald Trump is personally, now this was a big one, the Don will personally guarantee your safety. Oh, my God. The Don? I mean, that's like a deal, you can't say no to, right? I mean, the Don. But Kim Yum Nunchucks went, no, I don't think so. I think I'll keep this nuke here right by my side. You got your football, I got my football. You got your nukes, I want my nukes. So Kim Yum Nunchucks considers it like this. I made it. I grew it. I paid for it. It's mine. I mean, you can understand the right of ownership. I mean, Pakistan got to keep their nukes. And I mean, you got India that got their nukes. And you probably got Saudi Arabia that's got those reactors that the Russians are building for them for their nukes. Israel's got their nukes. So, I mean, why can't everyone have their nukes? And Kim Yum Nunchuck's got a point, if I have a nuke, I'm here. If I have no nukes, I'm destined to have a very bad day. See, he has a photo album. And in the photo album, pictures of former dictators like him that kind of gave up their weapons. I mean, don't forget you got the Shah of Iran. He got the protection of the United States. Gaddafi, he had to push. I mean, I was even under Hillary. I mean, Hillary would thought she could be like, when you're paid off, should stay paid. See, an honest politician is one when you pay them off, stay paid off. But this new breed is a lot different, So he had a real problem. Oh, my God. It's like things are really getting bad here. You got the Butcher of Baghdad. He had problems. So you got to keep the nukes. You got to keep the weapons of mass destruction. And you got to let them know that, you got a gift that keeps on giving. Now, I don't know why that is so hard to understand. I mean, let's talk honestly. Let's suppose you were a dictator. Great job. Lots of girlfriends, okay? Basketball stars come to visit you. You got really weird haircut that everyone wants to duplicate, right? And you get to have fun. I mean, you're having a bad day. You're bored, hanging around the palace. And you're giving one of your 4-hour speech, and then your uncle falls asleep. Got you. Then you tie him to a barrel. You get an anti-aircraft weapon, and you throw it through his chest, and there's, like, nothing left. I mean, that is really cool shit. Okay, so this guy's been having a lot of fun. He's got his brother, and he had those girls go down there and put a little nerve gas in a handkerchief, and no more brother. So he's had, and don't forget the Stickman Torture Center. He gets his citizens, and if they don't scream loud enough praising Kim Yum Nunchucks, and they don't appreciate the bag of candy they give them once a year, they go to the penal colonies. And that's where they literally work them to death. what fun that is, okay? He's probably got a CAD cam down there going, oh, look at this one. How many bones? I think I see every bone in the human body there, yeah. Now, when a guy has fun with these kind of things, he doesn't want to give them up. He understands that, people that are not as perverted don't understand. But if you're a torturer and a dictator and that evil voice in there lets you do whatever you want, let me explain. You know how you drive down the road and somebody cuts you off and you want to kill them? Well, imagine if you had your own nuke in the car, machine gun headlights, a cannon. It would be very hard to control yourself with that kind of power. And see, that's the thing with Kim Jong Nunchucks. He has so much absolute power as a dictator that he can't imagine just being like a regular old dictator, not like a bloody one, So this is something that, you really have to embrace and understand that he can't himself. It's how he was raised. I'm sure he had issues with his dictator father and his mother. And, the uncle thing he kind of settled. I didn't like my uncle either, so I can understand that, that he settled old scores there. Probably wasn't just the fact that he fell asleep during the speech. Maybe he didn't get a sufficient Christmas present. He was a kid and didn't like the guy. So we grew up, and now he's become a nasty badass. Now, I think Donald Trump should understand psychologically damaged people, people with super inflated egos. He can sure understand lying, manipulating, and colluding. So it's not like it's not something that is not right up his alley. Now, the problem is that Donald Trump's got another problem. Yeah, I don't have to tell you about this one. And that is that, oh my God, he has got to come up with a filling. See, when you have a schedule of your TV reality show, you plan many weeks in advance. So Donald Trump was figuring the timing of the meeting with Kim Jong Nunchucks, and then the sentencing of many of his former men in the probe of his campaign involvement with the Russians. And then you got the secret testimony they give. Then you remember he's got that appointment with the grand jury he's got to testify for. Nothing like, I would love to come and testify before the grand jury, but I've got to go over here to Singapore and to save mankind. And then after I go there, I have got to personally go to North Korea and pick up those nukes that the art of the deal got away. So there was a lot of fill-in time, a lot of press releases. Kellyanne would be, the president has no time for this silly investigation when there's no collusion. He's going to create jobs, and pick up nukes. Jobs, pick up nukes. So you understand it's a pretty full schedule. Now, there's a problem I want you to help me with. It turns out that the White House reality TV producers, they have a hole in their schedule, okay? Donald Trump is not going to go to Singapore. Nope. Kellyanne's not going to talk about him picking up the nukes. This president is the greatest president ever. Barack Obama gave the nukes, and Donald Trump followed. You have to, see, they write their lines ahead of time and copy rehearse them they have a dress rehearsal in the White House. It's really amazing the theater that's created. It is the biggest reality show production company in the world, brought to you live out of Washington, D.C. So now you've got the star of the show. And, you hate when you got these bit players. Let's face it, Donald Trump's a star. Kim Jong Nunchucks was, just kind of a guest appearance, in, out, goodbye, give up the mooks, die in a terrible train wreck or something, right? So, we always knew that. Now you got a home schedule. So what was Donald do? Well, he's got the deep state conspiracy. Hannity's really working that one with him. And he's got the spying on his presidential campaign by obviously Democratic FBI agents trying to destroy the great Trump. So that plays a little bit. Then now he still have more airtime, so he was going down and he's going, what do you think? So he called his buddies. He's in real contact with some of these people he fired, and he goes, Bannon, what can I do now for the next president? Bannon goes, I know, I got it. Let's put taxes on import cars. Everybody has a car. That'll get shit stirred up, and Bannon was right again. So now all of Europe's in uproar. Trade negotiators are going, what? What now? What? I thought we were doing steel, coal grade again. No, we're back to cars. And cars going to China? No. Donald Trump he had a little problem. See, Donald Trump, sometimes he doesn't study his lines, okay? And what happened was he got the Chinese to lift duties on imported cars. The problem is that our major car companies don't import cars into China. They make it there, says they make it cheaper. See, Donald didn't know that. So other than Elon Musk with the man from Mars, getting a place to maybe sell a couple of his rattly shit, junk crap things that don't work and he can't stop him. Yeah, that has no brakes. Yeah, he had an autopilot. And he goes, well, Starman doesn't brake. We go faster and faster. And what happened was there was no instructions in the computer code written to have the car put on its brakes before it crashed into a wall. Really bad for the resale value. So that's out. So Donald Trump did the thing. And then the one I really like is, here you got that telecom company, the Chinese one, absolutely based its entire business on stealing stuff from our companies. 25% of the world market. And Donald Trump did the right thing, put sanctions against them. Going to shut them down. You're not going to steal our intellectual property. He goes, what's intellectual property? You should just say that, okay? It's like whole grade again. Okay, Donald Trump's going to do that. And then, well, Lee goes, if you screw with my telecom company, I'm going to tell my country cousin, Kim Nunchucks, not to have a meeting with you. Donald Trump goes, whoa. So he gets on the press thing. Canceled stage 1, camera 2. Revision, and then they had a new script, and that was Donald Trump announces that because, listen to this, so many Chinese jobs would be lost. Oh, I want my mommy. Lost jobs in China. Oh, yeah. Well, Donald Trump was going to, because of the great humanitarian he is, stopped the sanctions going against the Chinese telephone company that stole our technology. As he so stated, because jobs was. He didn't mention the fact that they got a little hotel casino license and little influence was played in that part of the world, but that's a secondary story. I mean, that's the art of the deal, right? You understand that. Payoffs here, payoffs there, bagman there, bagman there. And it's difficult. I mean, all his bagmen, like now he's got Cohen going to jail. So he's losing all his bagmen. It's kind of hard to get that money rolling around there. And, he tried to get, the son-in-law to do that job. Kushner, he's not very good at it. I think a couple of times he forgot the suitcase, too. So anyway, so you got that reality show. So Donald Trump said, what are we going to do? So at the last minute, he said, I know. We'll announce right as everyone's hitting for prime time, prime time on the radio shows and prime time on fake news and prime time on the only news that's true, Fox News. They will be covered up with a story about not Kim Nunchucks backing up and how Donald Trump can't save the world. And he's going to do duties on foreign imports of car to make America great again. It's brilliant. This guy always has a theme. He's always got a show he's about to do. I mean, I was just so impressed. I thought, no wonder he gets the prize. I mean, he has the highest rating of any Presidente reality show ever. And he is getting bigger and badder. And then he's got the other thing. He called him. He goes, well, listen, that Weinstein guy? When are you going to put him in jail? Maybe we can tie that in. So that, see, if they bust him on Friday, he's supposed to self-surrender. That means that, all those weekend shows, if it's Sunday, it must be, that kind of places and all this stuff. Well, those shows are really a big problem for Donald. Well, now, if he gives them enough material that they can, do the story about Weinstein and, do the story about automobile tariffs and don't mention nunchucks, then Donald Trump would be a lot happier. So this is all about the art of the what? Publicity stunt. The art of what? The next production of the Donald Trump I'm President reality TV show. So you do not need to worry about nuclear annihilation. See, nuclear annihilation is an old theme, right? I mean, many presidents have run on that theme, and duck and cover and all that stuff. I mean, you got a nuclear warhead headed for your schoolhouse, and you get under your desk. When I was a kid and they had me do that, I thought, excuse me, this doesn't make any sense. Shouldn't we go in the damn air raid shelter, with the little yellow sign? I'm hiding under my desk as a nuclear weapon hits New York City? Hello, this ain't Iowa, stupid. Anyway, the teachers weren't happy. But I'll tell you, really cool. I used to go down to those bomb shelters, and I got myself one of those used government issue radiation detectors. They are really cool. Now, we went into these big green drums in there, and the water was nasty. So I was wondering, in fact, I said, I've been down there in that bomb shelter there. We're not supposed to go down there. I said, well, I wanted to check out where I'm going to go live. And the water's rancid, and the rats have gotten in the food. Why isn't anybody checking this shit? He goes, well, no. So, in other words, we were supposed to go into a rat-infested bomb shelter in New York City. See, first we duck and cover above the ground. The bomb comes in. Then you got the radiation. Then you run through the radiation down into the bomb shelter to drink the rancid water. The cots were rotten, and the food was disgusting with the rat turds in it and all that. So that was how they were taking care of us in that era. And I assume they'll do just as well this time. So Donald Trump is there, and he's going, well, you know, the best solution is let's just not have a nuclear war. I thought, that is brilliant. You see, that's why you got to love this guy. So how do you avoid a nuclear war? Well, you go to Kim Yum Nunchucks, and you say, listen, Kim Yum Nunchucks, let's talk, you and I got a deal for you. Listen, you know, there's some really nice property in Manhattan, and I got Cohen hooked up on some of that stuff, and I was thinking that, you know, if you want to give up the nukes, why don't we make you like a billionaire? And Kim Yum Nunchucks, well, I already am a billionaire. He goes, well, yeah, but why don't we make you like you can get a visa and go to Disney World? And Kim Yum Nunchucks said, well, that looks like an idea. Yeah, I will give up my nuclear weapons, and I have the personal protection of Donald Trump as his guys talk about how they want a Libya-style deal. Now, I would say that was probably a major flub. I mean, you're going to tell a dictator that you're going to give him the same deal you gave another dictator, and that deal you gave the other dictator got him killed, his regime destroyed, and he had protection. You know who else got protection from the United States? Yep, Yugoslavia. See, when the war ended, the Cold War, that is, not the hot war, but the Cold War. The Cold War ended, they ended up with a formidable nuclear arsenal left there by the Russians, a big one. I mean, not talking this little puny-ass, you know, low-grade thermonuclear wars. We're talking about the real shit, multi-entry stuff, ICBMs, thousands of them, okay? And Yugoslavia said, yeah, baby, we're now a nuclear superpower. And then America came and said, you don't want those nukes. And the guy goes, yeah, we want those nukes. He goes, no, you understand. You got to give up those nukes. We're going to pressure you. We're going to give you some money. We give you bags of money like we give every other dictator. And then what you can do is you can rely upon not only the full protection of the United States of America, which is pretty cool shit, right? But you got NATO. So that means you got, like, all the world's biggest powers protect you against big bad Russia. And Russia, knowing that, won't screw with you, right? Well, a few years later, that's when they took the Crimea. And the guy goes, hello, you remember the guarantee that you're going to help me? Yeah. Help's on the way. He goes, no, you don't understand. The Russians are invading our land. He said, help's on the way. He goes, you don't understand. Russia's attacking us, invading us. Remember that part about we have the NATO? Are you rolling the tanks in here? No. Bombers? Troops? Well, no, but we'll pray for you. So, now, see, Kim Yum Nunchucks knows about that deal. Now you add Vietnam, where we guaranteed their leaders, and that was if you got on a helicopter from the U.S. Embassy to fly out of Saigon. That didn't work out so well. So a lot of people are going, you know, this guarantee of the United States of America is not so hot. But Donald Trump goes, well, wait, I'm going to give you my guarantee. Donald Trump's guarantee. And he goes, well, you know, we watched all those people get fired, and, you know, the Secretary of State, the last guy that was negotiating was Tillerson. What happened to him? Well, he said I was ignorant. Well, he was right, but anyway. So this guarantee of Donald Trump is not the way to pitch this deal. He's going to have to come up with something a lot smarter than that, because Kim Yum Nunchuck ain't buying that bullshit. So, I mean, it's really bad. I mean, you've got to figure that the time the Mueller investigation wraps up, they've got the elections coming up. Oh, my God, the elections. I mean, they're brilliant, right? Right in the middle of the elections, Donald Trump goes, I don't have to campaign. I'm sorry. I have to save the world from nuclear attack, and I got this Nobel Plastic Explosive Peace Prize, and you can't let the Democrats get in there because they'll impeach me. And with the Peace Prize in hand, the world saved from nuclear devastation, the people who vote in the United States would appreciate that kind of thing and vote Republicans. Now that's all off the map. Now we're going to have to make America great again. We're back to coal mines. We're back to sanctions on steel. And now we are going to stop those nasty damn foreign cars from coming to America and screwing things up for red-blooded American. So all I can say is thank God for Donald Trump. And I'm sorry about the Kim Yum Nunchucks deal didn't work out. And, you know, This is the art of the deal, ladies and gentlemen. The art of the deal. So Donald Trump is now down to plan with C or D, and we're having fun. So anyway, this wraps up Radio Free Wall Street. At 6 o'clock, New York time, we're going to be streaming Nick's Wellness Report. We got a guy named Moshe there that's lost 100 pounds. He was on his way into bariatric surgery. If you know, that's where they cut your kind of stomach out. You go, see, you're a lot better. Complications are extremely high on it. People don't drop dead without nourishment, a lot of infections. And without a stomach, that means you eat like half a teacup full of food at a time, and you call that your meal. So he said, rather than have you cut my stomach out, start from my asshole and work my way up, how about if I just try this little diet thing? So he did. Lost 100 pounds. By the way, he has 50 pounds ago. The guy was huge. And he'll tell his story. And don't forget our partner program on that. You can save lives, have people lose weight. And by the way, we're not selling the partner program, okay? If you're a Wall Street Insider, Wall Street Underground subscriber, you're part of our family, and we want you in on this technology. So at 6 o'clock New York time, the Wellness Report. We've emailed you out a link. Look in your mailbox, look in your junk spam, Ramadan place over there, where they throw all the crap that they don't want from us. And if you don't have that, we'll be streaming it live on both the WSI Pink site and on the Financial News Network site. So come and see what he has to say. It's really interesting. We're also going to talk about the partner program. Anyway, Don, I feel your pain, brother. Mm-hmm. I mean, you had this big show. You had a steak dinner planned. Kimmy on Nunchucks were going to tell war stories. In fact, Kim said he wanted to hear all about the stormy weather and the yellow showers. He thought that was kind of interesting stuff. And, it gets kind of boring in North Korea when you talk about these big-time New York guys. I mean, they really know how to party, right? So they could have had some connection, I'm sure. The part about, sending an anti-aircraft round through the chest of your uncle, Donald Trump would say, what a great idea, Mueller. You want to come target practice with me? So, they could have shared ideas. They have a lot of similar ambitions, and Donald Trump definitely wants to be a dictator, so that's all, gone with the wind. And now we're down to trade tariffs on automobiles. That's not near as much fun.